How's it going, guys? It's Nutshell here, and today I'm going to show you one of the best things that I've been doing for the last about an hour on Escape from Tarkov's PVE mode, and it is absolutely one of my favourite things that I've found so far within the PVE mode. And it's not even intentional. BSG's mess up with, of course, the practice mode has meant that we can explore different options of playing the game and making it slightly more difficult, but also a ton of fun. So how did we actually do that? Well, essentially it revolves around the fact that you can essentially enable settings for each of your raids as long as it's on a local server. So by what I mean that any map that isn't essentially Streets of Tarkov. And because of the fact that there are a ton of maps that aren't Streets of Tarkov, you can do this on pretty much every map in the game. So that means that we can essentially mess about with all of these difficulty settings, and they will be actually within the game itself. So you could make the AI easy, you can make them medium, you can make them hard, impossible, randomize them, or as in online, as you know, the normal game and the normal game mode would imply. But there's also the AI amount, and you can see you can get none, which people for some reason seem to be using all of the time. I find it very boring, and I guess is only ever useful if you want to do a task. But even then, I mean, I like doing my task properly, so, you know, make of that what you will. But of course, I don't say that anyone can't use none. I just don't get why you would, because I find it just very boring. But either way, I'm sure some of the tasks could be made a lot easier with that. But the key thing that we're looking at today is Horde mode. Now, Horde mode, I'm sure many of you already know about if you've been playing Tarkov for any length of time. But remember, PvE mode has PMCs, it has bosses, and it also has a ton of scavs as well. So how would a Horde mode raid work with the PvE zone? Well, let's jump in and show exactly how you can do it just after I show you how you can turn on the Horde mode for this, for you to be able to try it out and practice it and give it a go, because it is a ton of fun. I was running it on factory, works the best. It's just very close quarters fighting, lots of engagement with a lot of the different AIs, both bosses and also, you know, the PMCs in the game, and obviously scavs, and basically like aim training. But of course you get rewarded, although escaping when there is literally like 50 things within Tarkov's factory, yeah, it's not exactly easy. But it has been done, and yeah, it was a ton of fun when I did. So the AI amount, essentially when you've come onto this screen, you want to click on the enable practice mode, then you come onto this screen and you want to swap it to Horde mode, and you can select your difficulty. You could put it on impossible, you could put it on easy, just as it is online. You've got medium and hard as well. Now, for people that are wanting a bit more of a smooth experience and an idea of how Horde mode works, you can put it on easy. But I normally run it as in online, but it does mean that everything will YOLO towards you, which, yeah, when there's like 50 things, it's a pain. You're going to need some 60 rounders, maybe even 100 rounders, and using the best armor you possibly can. Remember, if you do get taken out during these raids, you are going to lose everything, by the way. So, you know, you get it back through insurance, so you want to make sure you're insuring everything. But you will lose it, obviously, if you get taken out, because it is just like a normal raid that has these different settings attached to them. So for this, we'll just have it as in online. Then we click back, and then we click back again, and then we click next. Then we click on essentially the Horde, and then we want to go back as in online, and then just have it as in online. And then we want to swap back to the Horde mode, press the X button, go back one more time, and then next again. Don't escape back, you just want to click the back button, and then we want to toggle off the enable practice mode. Once again, if this has worked, you'll see that in the settings, so just directly below the enable practice mode, it will say Horde, which is what you want. This is what exactly it's all about. And then you just go ready into your raid. We're not going to go into one because I've already got a gameplay showcased up for you, just as a kind of viewing experience that you can have a look at, which obviously we've generated in now. But essentially Horde mode, there is like as I said before, like 50 AI. Not technically, there's probably less, but it feels like there is an absolute horde within the mode. And it also means that scavs, PMCs, bosses will all aggro each other, they'll all start fighting, and as soon as you pretty much spawn into the factory raid, you'll note that there is fighting going on, and a lot of it. And so what's great about this mode? Why is it so fun? Well, it gives you the option to try out new things, you can try out weapons, you can go in with basically no gear and then loot up gear and then escape via one of the additional extracts using the factory key, which I recommend doing, because if you're trying to get to the other normal extract that's available regardless of any keys, it is a pain because there is a ton of AI and they're all very, very good at being able to laser you, especially things like Tagilla. So having those extra options to go in through the various different extracts dotted around the map that you require the factory key, which you can buy off of the flea, by the way. Yeah, it just opens up that map and you can kind of extract where you want to, as opposed to being forced to run maybe the opposite side of the map against all of the rest of the AI after you've grabbed up maybe Tagilla and you've picked up his gear and that sort of stuff. But yeah, it really does feel like a ton of fun. Now, when you first spawn in, the key thing that you want to note is that if you do aggro Tagilla, the horde will descend, and I mean literally descend upon you. It is the worst thing I think I've ever seen in my entire life, and definitely was not a pleasant experience. There was maybe a PMC in there, there was Tagilla himself, there is all of the other AI, the scavs who just run at you, and even if you take out Tagilla, there is like 10 scavs all shooting at you, and although they don't have the best aim, a lot of them have shotguns, and so they'll just blow off your leg and then you can't run. So popping up your ibuprofen before you ever engage in any fights is definitely useful, or any of your other stims that avoid you from having the pain for if you're running with a broken leg or without a leg, etc. So I highly recommend popping that before you get into any action, because I learnt the hard way what it feels like to try and fight off 50 people when you can only walk around, and by walk around I mean stumble around. So it was a ton of fun. Now, this is not really a exploit or anything like that people would like to say, because at the end of the day, there is nothing that you're really gaining from this. In fact, it's actually more difficult to use this than it is to just play a normal factory raid, and you'll probably guarantee a better success rate, a better survival rate, and you won't get taken out anywhere near as much as trying to play the horde mode in factory. But the whole point around this is that it's a ton of fun, and I cannot stress this enough that if you're playing Tarkov, you're a bit bored, maybe you want to just chill out, maybe you want to take in a group of your mates to just see if you can thin out the entire horde, then this is a great opportunity to do that. And I think that this sort of option, the horde mode itself, should be available. It's kind of like a challenge mode, and I really did enjoy playing it. I think I'll be trying it out even more, maybe making some videos surrounding different weapon loadouts and seeing how far we can get into the horde mode before we get taken out, and I think it would be a really cool idea. So hopefully you'll enjoy this video, or at least have enjoyed it, or are going to try it out, and let me know what your thoughts are on this. And of course, with the horde mode, because there's so many different AI, the amount of XP you get is pretty good as well. You're looking at about 10 to 16,000 if you take out quite a few of the PMCs and the scavs. But if you take out the boss and PMCs and scavs, you can get upwards of like 30k XP, maybe even more. And this is like a brilliant way to get yourself some XP. And although XP isn't really that crucial anymore with it, for me personally, I'm sure some of the lower level players, maybe you if you're level 20 and you need those level requirements to be able to unlock the higher tier traders, or the higher loyalty level traders, then this would be a brilliant method to use right now. We don't know how long it's going to be in the game. I'm sure BSG will come out with a patch tomorrow, most likely, because, you know, thank you. Maybe they could just introduce this into the game, because it's not like it's going to break the market, because it's so difficult to actually successfully extract, especially with how many AI are on the map. So thought I'd showcase it to you guys, thought I'd give it out there to you guys, and hopefully I'll see what you guys think in the comment section down below. I really do appreciate all your support. It's been amazing on the channel, and I can't believe we're almost at 4,000 subscribers. I would not have believed that in my wildest dreams, that after like a month and a half of uploading videos for Tarkov, we're nearly at 4,000. That is beyond crazy, and I really do appreciate your support. So hopefully you have the same sort of excitement around this game mode, and I will see you in the next video coming tomorrow. Goodbye.